Hello and welcome back for the final game of the day, which pits Cloud9 Academy against TSM Academy. And as always, we start with the starting rosters. On the blue side is TSM Academy with Dokla in the top lane, Speaker in the jungle, Evolved in mid, Lost in the bot lane alongside support Treats and their coach Mabry.
And facing them on the red side, it is C9 Academy, which has Fudge, Honori, Palafox, King, and Diamond with coach Rainover. And Freak, I have a fun fact for you.
Yes.
If C9 win this game, their Academy plus LCS record will be best of all orgs, because currently they're tied with Immortals for that record of 10-4.
And then interestingly,
I figured that out staring at the graphic.
Yeah. And Dignitas are 7-0 here and 4-3 in the LCS.
Yeah. Wait, that's better.
Yep.
I'm trolling.
That's
keep
okay.
Going, keep going, keep going.
Fun
keep going.
fact, Jat sometimes gets the stats wrong. That's okay. Evolved in the mid lane. The man on your screen was definitely a hype picker from Scouting Grounds. The chatter I was hearing was that he didn't necessarily even want to go pro. People wanted to offer him, but he wasn't sure he wanted to do it. He took the offer. He's actually playing pretty well overall, and he's up against Palafox, who's been a journeyman Academy player, having a very good split himself.
Yeah, hyped up for this mid lane matchup. Also, like the junglers that will be supporting them, so much emphasis can be put on the mid-jungle duos in these games, but sometimes tune in to Evolve stream when he's on. I really like watching late night solo queue. Not many high challenger people play, but those are always the games that I want to watch, and Evolved often in those games.
Yeah, definitely a very strong player overall. Going to be exciting to watch right here. TSM Academy has gone 1-1 every single week so far. We're 4 weeks in, and they won yesterday or the day before, so we'll see if they can keep that one up. And now we are in a champion select to see if that can continue on or if they move up to 5-3.
Yeah, so Dig just won at 4-3 to move them to 11.
Yeah.
And 3.
They're 11-3 across the orgs.
Well, C9 can be 11-4 across the orgs. So
That's,
C9
yep,
yeah, that is
true.
Correct. Not the best.
Not the best.
But tied for the most wins.
Which is,
kind of the same.
That's really all that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, losing is irrelevant. Winning is all that matters. And here we are in a champion select, hoping that one of these teams wins. Spoiler alert, one of them probably will.
Yeah.
At least Scrag us off the table so far, dropping some jungle bans against Denora, who has been a very, very aggressive player. It has gotten him killed quite a bit, but he's making it flashy at least.
Totally right about that. A lot of jungle bans coming out from the side of TSM. Spica has had some hero moments so far in the Academy games. There was one really epic moment early on in the season, if people haven't seen the highlight, where he jumps into the Elder Dragon pit. It was against TL Academy, kicks Mike Young out of the pit as Lee Sin, and then secures the Elder as his team just Elder nukes everyone down thanks to the steal. Just one of the most epic League of Legends moments I've seen from a gameplay perspective.
Yeah, doing some impressive stuff. Master Yi not like to be locked in first pick. It's going to be the Jarvan that we kind of expected to see, as continue to be a fairly premier jungler overall, and Spica's third pick of the year on it.
Yeah, solid early game jungle to make action happen.
Of note, Honori actually has yet to play Jarvan, so on paper, not terribly contested as a champion, but you expect to see it when you see, 3 jungle bans coming through, that maybe it comes in next.
Play Soraka.
They should.
Good.
If you want to win, you should play Soraka.
I think so.
She's getting really heavily nerfed in 10.4, which is a good thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm always so conflicted in moments like Soraka. What do I expect a pro team to do? Do you put games in on Soraka to get the 2 weeks of victory, or do you just try and project what the nerfs are going to be eventually, and that ends up scaring people away from the pick? It's one of the reasons that Yuumi saw more play in the LCK this week, even though they're on patch 10.2, because they're already practicing it for 10.3, and these games are no longer wasted. So I can see for the Academy guys at least, unless they're specifically trying to prove hey, look how quickly I can learn strong stuff, would just say, actually, I don't expect this to be a long-term thing, so I'm not going to play.
Yeah, of course, the interesting thing is, I know Soraka is so absurdly strong even in solo queue. The win rate is ridiculous. The nerfs will bring it to very strong instead of broken, which means that you could probably just play Soraka forever and she probably doesn't drop, below viability.
That's my strategy. I'm just going to be playing top lane Janna.
Yeah.
Until people,
nerf that one too.
Don't let me do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we are into this game though, and Misfortune Thresh is going to be the bot lane pickup. I think that's a really exciting one. Definitely a lot of kill threat here. King and Diamond You know, coming into the split, I was actually really hyped on both of those players.
Yeah.
Diamond, number 1, number 2 support in Academy for the last year and a half or so, and King, I had high hopes for. He's not been having a very good year. I do want to see him step up a bit more. Of course, he is having to play remote, sadly. He's probably up in Canada doing that. So, you know, that can help, or that can hurt a little bit, right? You're not next to your teammates. The ping is obviously a bit higher, but not having a good year, which is too bad.
Yeah, probably coming off his best game, though, against Evil Geniuses this week. He had an Aphelios game where he went 5-1 and 11, so potentially on an upward trajectory. And he's got a decent lane. Like, Diamond's Thresh has been really good in the past.
Has been absolutely 2-0 on it so far this split. There against Nautilus there, and as the bans come through, we're seeing an extra 80 carry ban down there. The Camille dropped off as well, and we'll see if Cena want to grab top lane or mid lane first, and then, well, of course, they know Cinder's coming through, so you probably just kind of pick the mid lane and then wait for top now as well.
Yeah, that is likely what we would see happening, but I'm trying to think, like, there's a reason Cinder is high priority and often banned is because it's not exactly easy to counterpick. I wonder what Palafox would pull out against it. Zoe is available. It is something he won with earlier this week.
Well, so far, he's 7 unique champions in 7 games. I want to see number 8. I want to see him go all 18 games, you know, and just keep stuff going. So they're actually going to go, though. With the Camille ban, they go for the Aatrox rush, right? And that's kind of what you show when you ban Camille, is that's the expected matchup counter. So they really, really want the Aatrox. I don't think that gets flexed towards mid, but they thought that was going to get grabbed by Dokla there, and they wanted to get him off one of his most comfortable champions. 3 plays so far. This would have been his 4th. They push him down the tier list a bit. Ornn Camille already gone, so it's like Gangplank is the last one left.
Yeah, a lot of stuff being denied so far in the draft. Yeah, likely a top lane pick here. Not the easiest position to be in for Dokla.
GP, yeah.
You let out the choices, unless he's going to really pull into a back pocket and do something like Yorick or Alawi or Gnar.
Sona.
Hey man, I'd be on board.
I'd be on board too, but it's not. It's the Gangplank, and now Cloud9 get to double check, and maybe it is the Aatrox Flex after all. Again, not thinking it's going to be the case, but we'll see what comes through now as the likely mid lane pick afterwards. Zoe, you mentioned it, Jat.
Yeah.
Sadly, this will be a repeat pick on Zoe, so the streak ends for Palafox. 7 unique champions in 8 games. But I like the draft.
Yeah, thinking about overall, like, both teams have a good spread of damage. Both teams have a different damage profile between the jungler and the mid laner, which is actually pretty important when you're thinking about how the mid lane 2v2 will work. Definitely a bit of a push advantage on the top side for the Aatrox early, but there's a push advantage for the Varus Nautilus on the bot side for TSM. So, like, the teams matched up, right? I don't think either team necessarily won or lost draft or has these fatal flaws. They kind of followed the basics to get these team compositions together.
The only difficulty I see on the Cloud9 side is a lack of very reliable engage tools. Flash Rek'Sai often gets you killed. Zoe Bubbles, of course, unreliable. Thresh is your best bet, and that Diamond is very good, don't get me wrong, but that is a very narrow window to hope on, whereas, you know, Flash Nautilus R is gonna connect. And so I think TSM can pull the trigger a little bit easier. Syndra Stun's also, I would argue, more reliable than Thresh Hooks as well. So we'll see if Evolved can make that one happen here as well. TSM slightly better record so far in the Academy split. A lot of good players in this roster.
Yeah, C9 Academy traditionally has been dominant in the Academy scene. In part of C9's offseason, they did end up making a lot of moves, which depleted their depth between their LCS team and Academy roster, so definitely in a little bit of a rebuild, but C9 is known for being able to develop top talent.
And sometimes it takes a little while, sometimes it's ready right away, but as you mentioned, yeah, Cloud9 sold off basically 3 other players last split, from last split, and picked up 1 or 2 replacements, and it's looked pretty good for them so far, and we'll see how well they can build their next year's stars and get ourselves onto the Rift for TSM and Cloud9's Academy squads. Woo! Anytime I hear woo, I have to say it as well.
Oh no.
Woo! Okay, no, we're done. We're done. It's got a cooldown. It's got a cooldown like UBC.
Yeah. It's like an ultimate cooldown.
It is an ultimate, you know? And not one of those Udyr ultimates. It's like a real
Karthus
ultimate.
or something.
Yeah.
3 minutes.
Yeah, without old presence of mind, where it just got back instantly.
Yeah, like woo. No, it's on cooldown.
Yeah, I can't. You know, it just doesn't happen.
I'm glad it has a cooldown.
Yep.
Please no Cloudrix.
got it.
Yeah.
It took me like way too long to catch that one.
That one was way, yeah.
Because I thought you were going to be like, oh, please no ward kills. I'm like, because I cheer for those too.
Yeah.
And then it was Cloud Drakes, and I was like, what is dumb about Cloud Drakes? Oh, it's a little cooldown.
Yeah.
I'm just a little slow today, chat.
Well, it's also the first time that it hasn't given move speed on the base Drake.
That's right.
Was that intentional, being a little slow today?
No.
Cloud Drake used to give speed?
Sure, yes. Which one is it, Jat? Oh, I gotta tell everyone, by the way, Jat has a habit. Jat's a very smart person. 1 in 15 statements, he will deliver like he's serious, but he doesn't mean it. And I never know if, like, wait, do you just like have some hidden tech, like, that you just researched, or are you just trolling everybody?
Yeah.
And you're often wrong.
Wait, what?
Sorry, one is often wrong when trying to read Jat. The insight check is, like, too difficult.
Yeah, my most memorable story of this is, like, I'll do an educated guess. And this is definitely a brag, and I'm going to say it.
Oh, I love this one. I know what you're doing.
Yeah. People asked what the origin of 7-Eleven was.
Yep, that's the one.
And I was just like, oh, it's because the store used to be open from 7 to 11 when everything else was 9 to 5, and they thought that was impressive. And then now it's 24 hours, and, like, they just never changed the name.
Yeah.
And that's true.
Yeah, but he was BSing us when he said it.
I completely was like, yeah, it's probably right. Like,
Yeah.
This is just a guess.
But he says it like he means it, and we're like, he must be true. It's like the LCK school of casting. Just believe everything you say. Your teams are the best, and Reddit is gonna agree with you because they're silver.
That's an old school reference freak.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, we're to this one.
Yeah.
2.5 minutes in the game. So League of Legends being played, and Diamond is aggressive in the bottom lane. Poor TSM stuck at level 1 down here. Here comes the walk-up play. Or the hook. They can't go anywhere. Look at that. It pulls it right back in anyway. That is beautiful. And Treats, woo, you got tricked.
That was really interesting. Normally Nautilus hook, like, overpowers any CC, but there's that extra pull from the thresh hook. That's an interaction I really can't say you see often.
Oh, I play Tristana.
Like
I run into that all the time. Because you can't break thresh hooks.
For thresh hook, yeah.
Because it just pulls you out of the jump and you're just sad the whole time.
Man, the Nautilus thresh interaction was real interesting.
Yep. But still smart by Treats. Like, okay, I'm getting hit. I'm going to buffer the Q. He got, a bit of distance built out. Didn't die. Smart plays. Bot push is coming in. They deny. Oh, they don't deny the cannon. That's so free. Like, you can't miss this. Good job. 60 gold earned. Worth 3 melees. I mean, I'll take that every time. Yeah, we heard more woos. Still on cooldown for me. Can't go for it.
I feel like Varus Nautilus should be a powerful lane. So I don't know exactly what happened in the early phase that made them get pushed off on the early levels. And like the GP with his Potion Master start, I can see that pushing in Fudge a little bit, but now I think that top lane should be going back.
Yeah.
Because just remember Champ Select, I was like, oh yeah, Aatrox will push, and then Varus and Nautilus will push, and the exact opposite is happening right now, so kind of trying to figure out why that happened.
I think a lot of it was leash difference. Judging by where the junglers ended up, I think Nori didn't get leashed by bottom side, but Speaka did. And anytime you're late to the lane in a tank matchup, you automatically lose push. It's always theirs, and just like it plays out that if both teams are playing appropriately, you give up the second wave as the one without push advantage. So that will just happen almost regardless of matchup. You've got to be like absurdly stronger in the 2-on-2 to not make that happen, and so that's just the price you pay. Anchor does not hit what they want, but he gets the root to get his Aftershock back on. Big damage on Diamond, and now he's at half HP trying to run a flash Q. One more auto will kill him, and Speaka does all the work for first blood.
Yeah, Diamond was waiting for the Jarvan EQ to flash, and Lost just killed him while he was waiting, and then the flash ended up not even needing to be used. So there's the Varus early game power coming through.
That was actually kind of cute as well. Treats like cues him in. He's like, okay, I got to jungle it.
Yeah, so I mean, they know that they have Speaka's Jarvan on the way, and it is basically a bait, right? Aftershock is down for Diamond, so Lost can just kind of move towards him as much as possible. As you mentioned, the flash through to chunk him down. Like, Diamond, even if he burned flash for that damage, Speaka then would have saved to be able to get the CC and kill him. Just a good rundown gank.
Nicely done right there. And so it's a gold lead for TSM. Lost gets a pretty safe early recall, gets the Vamp Scepter. And we can move on as we wait to see what the next big play here is in this one. Early top lane push. Dokla did have counter pick on the matchup, but Fudge really, really wanted to take Aatrox out of his hands. And now we have Diamond looking to roam into the mid lane, but Treats is already here. I'm not sure if the sweeper, now it does. Now the sweeper spotted him. Now he for sure knows he's there. Looks for the sleep, gets it. Here comes the entire squad. Cleanse and the hook. There's way too much of Cloud9. and Treats is running. They thankfully had Aftershock on, so he gets away.
Yeah, good 3-man there by C9. Evolved thought the cleanse was going to be enough to get him away, but ended up just being way too much damage coming in all at once.
And a lot of crowd control as well, so a really good roam and a good gank to happen as Inori flashed the knockup, made that all come through, ties the game back up. It's a small gold lead to Cloud9 now, and very successful of Diamond to roam over there.
Let's watch this again. So yes, Diamond knows. Oh, fight.
Well,
Okay.
he's already there. Inori, 2 ganks in under a minute. Gets his top lane ahead as well.
Yeah, so kind of answering the questions here, the lanes that I expected to be winning ended up getting pushed in, but then still generated kills.
Yeah.
Right? Because they end up, the gank comes and then it happens, but
You're right in the end, chat.
yeah. Yeah, that was the point.
Yeah.
I'm not wrong, guys. Just
I'm summing it up for you. It's my job as
Yeah.
play-by-play, is to dumb things down so that us laymen can understand.
they're pushed. Gank them. It's actually one of the only times where, hey, the other team is pushed. Why isn't the jungler here? Can like apply.
Yeah.
When you are the stronger 2v2, but you are pushed in.
Yeah.
The other team is in like this actually dangerous spot. Not when 2 people are just dominating. Watching this gank one more time.
Both of you, yeah. There's
Yeah.
no way out. You burn flash for the W because you have to, but Inori's already behind you.
Yeah, maybe he could have sidestepped and then flashed later since Inori's flash was already down, but he's dead.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be rough for him, but it means that Cloud9 looking pretty good now into this game as Stork Shoe's done for both mid laners. Triple Doran's Ring is in for King. It's going to be a lot of landing power. Going to be a lot harder to all-in that champion. And we'll see if they can get extra leads out of this one. There's a lot of stats, very efficient, but I want to point out that even though Doran's Blade is a very gold-efficient item, it is gold-efficient because it has health and lifesteal. So if you are not getting poked down or all-in, it's just a bad version of attack damage.
Yeah. But being able to threaten the all-in is really good.
Of course it is.
Do you suggest the triple Dorans on anyone except MF? Because that's really where the build gained a lot of popularity. It's like triple or quadra Dorans MF into snowballing the lane, into getting Essence Reaver, and just kind of taking over the game.
It definitely has higher synergy on her because she is one of the few champions who has a spell that actually works with lifesteal because double up applies full-on hits like an auto attack. So she gets a bit more than other champions do for that compared to say like Callisto where like your E is just a spell. And you know, no one really cares about that. I think it's still good though, right? It's a ton of stats. Like I think Tristana could get away with it by just rocket jumping in all the time and just fighting, and it's never bad for you. So I think there is room for that. I think Jinx could probably make it work as well, just because she's often so easily killed. So yeah, maybe. I think there's room for exploration there. Speaker just jumps out of the pit, hits the dragon once, but walks away, and we look back in bottom lane, which is a small CS lead to the Cloud9 side. Despite getting ganked, they are doing all right for themselves.
Yeah, reset just comes in from Evolve. They're kind of just deciding that neither team will go for the Drake because both teams have so much to do on the top side of the map.
Yeah, top is definitely volatile, right? It's a flashless gangplank. Now, thankfully for him, he's being pushed in, so there's not a lot of easy ganks out there.
Fudge's Aatrox is actually really good.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Fudge, basically this like 17-year-old top laner phenom from OS, had a really good playoff performance actually on Aatrox. They had like this Aatrox Yumi composition, and he just totally took over, trying to do the same in this game against Dope. Obviously no Yumi, but a very good mechanical player.
Yeah, and he's super fresh as well. He's got one split in the Oceanic Academy scene, and then one split in the OPL where he won and went to Worlds, and then now he's up on Cloud9 Academy, right? So it's like, it's a scoop up 1 year into his career. He's already, you know, the licorice understudy, essentially, right? And it's like, well, that's a good start. We know C9A has that eye for talent, and I remember talking with Diamond at the beginning of the season. He was saying, hey, how's your Australian pickups? Like, how are they doing? And he said, yeah, they're good, especially Fudge. Like, that was the guy he had his eye on as far as he's been performing so far in the States. So, yeah, do want to see sort of how his career progresses so far. He's definitely a guy I'm looking for. And it'd be nice to see, you know, him continue onwards and upwards. For now, it's just wave through the mid lane. Very exciting stuff. They're getting, is it going to be perfect CS? Yeah. All right, there you go. And the Q, wow. Incredible gameplay. Blue buff Syndra got every minion with spells. Who could have seen this coming?
I mean, 102 CS at 10 minutes, 40 seconds is pretty high.
Yeah.
Especially when he died. So that means, like, guaranteed he lost a few minions on death, but basically means he hasn't missed CS outside of that moment.
Doing a good job there. Also, credit to the TSM bottom lane getting a farm lead on their side now as well, as a Spell Thief Ignite was just tossed down for some poke. Sleep not going to land there, but looks like the team is setting up for this bottom side of the river, as the Nori is forced back here as well, and now TSM still unwilling to quite push in. They actually could have killed a control ward down there. I think with the Jarvan having an EQ available, could have gotten away from a roam. But I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit safely. Cloud9 still sitting on a 500 gold lead as we wait for the big sort of spikes to come through. Dogo having to rush for tier 2 boots to survive sort of some of the gank matchups. You kind of have to run away from the Aatrox more often than not, so has to delay Trinity Force. Feels bad when you have to do it, but sometimes that's the case. You got to spend 1,100 gold on tier 2 boots.
Both top laners have TP here, except Spica is off on the other side of the map, so this is just Infernal over to C9.
All right. Well, nicely done there. Managing to keep the gold pretty close to equal. Get a little bit of extra stats. See as they push forward with the Mountain Drake coming in next. Now, no incredible tanks to benefit from, but stats are still stats. It doesn't suck too much to get the Mountain a little bit later on. And we'll see when the next big aggression comes in. We've yet to see the Herald get dropped, but it is being worn by Anori, and he's got about a minute and a half to summon this thing.
Yeah, Spica is trying to get as much done as possible because basically him and his team decided that the Infernal Drake wasn't worth investing in, but C9 have like so much stuff they're just trying to burn here. This won't be the full turret, but it'll be extra plates.
That's going to be 4 plates to take it down, which is not too bad. They kind of champion damage got the first 2. Herald got the next 2, so good amount of damage picked up there. 120 per plate, 480 total. And gameplay gold, of course, used for the wave clear. Nice recall stop. Cute by Palafox.
Is there a champ for you? This is just something I've been thinking. Every time I watch Syndra, I like watch Syndra CS and always have all this kill pressure. And I say like, I should play Syndra.
Yeah.
But then I go into game and just feed.
Yes.
Like, the pros make it look so easy, but I just can't do it. Anyway, watching this, 4-man dive bot.
Only hits onto 1, Flash gets away, but Treats does not have the way out. He burns the stopwatch. I'm not sure he needed to, but a damage comes in. They got Anori pretty low, but he also dropped the aggro, and the kill comes in. Cloud9 after 3 kills now.
As soon as I was trying to make a tangential point, the game gives us action. But
of course.
Fudge teleporting in right there is going to give away a lot of plates top lane. So yes, they generate the kill, but TSM's going to be able to match this with a decent amount of pressure, I think.
Plate number 1, the walk now for Fudge to get back up there. He's likely to get plate number 2 in time. Clears it away with the Sheen. Demolish is there as well, so it is a 240 gold tax, plus this roughly double wave actually lock, or most of it. A kill is still worth more gold overall. It's still a positive play, especially when you deny some farm, you deny some lane pressure, maybe lost can't list everything, but yeah, 4v2, it's going to work well.
Yep, kind of brute force this gank. Anori doesn't get the flash knockup, actually gets so much damage returned onto him. Credit to the play post stopwatch because Treats' Nautilus was still looking to flash backwards, it looked like post stopwatch, just never had the opportunity to.
All right, look at the game state again, though. 800 gold difference, just short of 1,000. Cloud9 still holding the advantage, and we've got 2.5 minutes till the Mountain Drake comes back up. I still think it's C9 who's the winning team right now and should still be the one with the pressure, getting stuff done. As for champs that look good that I'm bad at, roughly all of them, Jat, would be my answer. Just in general.
I mean, that does happen.
Yeah.
Right? As casting and watching games for a living, you're like, hey, this makes sense. And then actually pressing the buttons yourself ends up being way harder.
The really big one actually for me was, I think around 2017, I was like, I want to try jungling for a season. And so I got to Diamond, like Diamond 2 in solo queue playing AD carry. And I was like, all right, I'm going to play flex queue solo and be a jungle main. Yeah. I got to like Diamond 5. And I was like, wow, this is actually really hard. I don't know where to be at the right time ever. Like this role is harder. It's basically Tyler 1's story, right? It's like, I think I'm so good and I'm just not. And I lost all my skills and became a Diamond 5 AD carry again. I was like, wow, I lost 3 divisions of AD carry, learned a jungle. Ouch.
So that actually does happen. When you role swap, your main role ends up depleting in skill and you have to relearn it after you switch back.
Yep.
Doesn't happen with perks that often.
Oh my, Evolve does walk away though, did not get pulled right back. I don't know, G2 6 and 2. They're clearly, it didn't
I
quite
started
work
it,
for
I was like, didn't happen with perks. Could have said that like 2 days ago and it would have been totally accurate. and then they lost to
The worst
everyone
team in the
this
league.
week.
Yeah. It happens, you know?
Yeah.
TL didn't roll swap. What's their excuse? I don't know.
Process.
But TSM, it is a process.
Yeah.
No poke gonna land just yet. Diamond, though, walking in for the flay. He's gonna look for the trade back. It's not gonna go through. Here comes the dunk over the top of bullet time. It's gonna be a little bit of damage, but it gets stopped pretty early. King can't do a whole lot. There's the ulti I was looking for, just to make it rain at the start. And in fact, no one actually dies. Oh, that could have been really scary from Palafox, but doesn't land enough damage there either.
Dokla's GP ultimate did so much damage in that fight. Really, it felt like the only things that hit that fight was GP ult and bullet time. And it took both teams to half, and then they ended up walking away.
And it's a 1,000 gold difference with 25 seconds of the Mountain Drake. And
Yeah.
if the holding pattern just stays, that still feels C9 favored to me. They still feel a little bit stronger overall. First power spec actually done for their AD carry before Lost has theirs, so this could be just fine with the Essence Reaver. And Misfortune, you can see, like towards the bottom side, might just run down towards mid and gotta be on the Drake side of the map.
Yeah, Stoneplate on the way for treats. On Nautilus as well. Surprised that people aren't looking up more towards the Mountain Drake. It's interesting here. It's actually deprioritized second Drake since we're so far away from Soul, and higher priority on Rift Herald, which is what Inori is prioritizing. Try and probably break open the mid turret after this.
Yeah, right now, bot lane being pushed in by Dokla, and that means there's no way for C9 to push the bottom river right now. But finally gets to clear the waves back, and we'll see that does come through as he comes to join the river as this Herald goes down without much of an issue, but there is a collapse coming down towards this bottom river as they fight for vision, they fight for the second Drake. Oh, he's gonna go to the right-hand side now, but thankfully does have reinforcements. Evolve, able to walk away.
They got mid-prio for this Herald, though. That basically means turret, and then after they take the turret, they can move back into river, so looks like overall it's going pretty well for C9.
And Evolve's at 40%. This turret always dies. They get to walk away cleanly. Dies at the charge. They always get gold with their within about 2,000 range. No problem there. And now onto the river they go.
Yeah,
It's clean.
and
clean.
does TSM let them do this, right? Because they have the position to set up, and it's dangerous to stop.
Good target. Speaka pulled in. Nice EQ does get out. Dokla sets up a barrow, but now a low health jungler. Does have ult, does have flash. Can maybe find something, but you can see TSM make the call saying, you know what, it's not worth it. We don't have vision control. They have sweepers and everything else. This Mountain Drake goes to them.
Yeah, unless TSM is really coordinated with their engage, they're just going to get poked out when they go for stuff like that. So C9 did a solid job there of going Rift to mid to Drake. And TSM either needed to have a clean plan to go all in kind of right away, or they needed to just concede all that stuff and make the push happen elsewhere, right? The fact that all those things went to C9, but still Dokla and Lost are now catching the mini waves that they didn't actually gain the tempo advantage beforehand. It's just straight win for C9.
Alrighty, it's looking good for them as they continue to hold this small, just sub 1,000 goldie, but they are stacking the neutrals up as time goes on. Got to give a lot of credit to Palafox. I think he's been doing, though the KDA's not really showing it, I think he's been doing a lot to get that pressure. He had 2 really good paddle starts landing onto Evolve, which pretty much just gave them all the mid pressure. Diamond drones, of course, been nice as well. He got that mid lane kill, and the hook on a Speak is really what I think broke the jungle fight as well. It really prevented them from doing anything about that second Drake. And credit to Inori, right? 0-0-3, his ganks have been landing. He's up in farm, and he's gotten his lanes the kills they need.
Yeah, trying to get the 2-0 on the week with double Rek'Sai, Zoe Thresh games. 3/5 of the team composition they had against Evil Genius's Academy is back in this game for C9. Triple Dorans into Essence Reaver into BF. That's the MF build we're talking about, so still pretty solid.
250 gold lost to the Ether. That's 4 cannon minions, depending on game time. Maybe 3.
Yeah.
But it's still gold picked up by the turret falling. Another flash engage. Don't quite find it getting away from Lost ultimate, but there could be a chase through. Hook doesn't land, which means Speaking can definitely go for this one. Nice Lantern gets away, and Inori gonna hope he's got some teamwork. Here comes the rest of the squad. Here comes the big team fight as Fudge in the front. Looking for the play, gonna find the W and Evolve, who walks away now as well. Palafox to the side, half health and his reach. Looks not gonna land for the Thresh, which means the disengage is gonna happen here.
I mean, that was a display of the unreliable initiation that C9 has. That's the kind of one weakness you pointed out at the C9 composition. That's one where Inori wanted to be able to turn the fight, was in position to do so, and TSM was able to just kind of walk away from them. But they do still push them out, and they try and regain control of top and mid.
Means that C9 might have to keep playing for the neutral objectives then, do something to force TSM into them. All he can really do is poke and then let TSM walk away, but if you can build up inevitability, then that's going to work out. It does make the comp harder to play overall. One thing I've sort of noted, sort of watching coordinated League of Legends, even playing a bit of it, admittedly at a lower level myself, is if you don't have just an actual team fight starter, it's hard to break your advantages sort of over your opponent.
Totally agree.
Really QSS for Misfortune, relying on Flash. Not enough to get away from Syndra stuns and Varus ult, so wants to make sure he's not the one who's getting killed. Play a fairly safe back line, and if a team fight does start, just ult over the top, but it might be enough for him.
Yeah, just seeing as the way the map kind of progresses at this point, 7 minutes away from a potential Cloud Soul, which is I think what Cloud9 is going to be working towards. I've been doing a lot of research into like Cloud Soul in general, and how, or not Cloud Soul, just Dragon Soul in general, and how teams are working towards it. And LCK and LCS were around 70 to 75% of games a team actually gets Dragon Soul. And then LEC was at like, this is before this week, I'll check in after this week as well, was at like 46%. So way, way lower.
Right.
And I think some of it does come down to approach to the game, and I'm still not sure which one is going to be better. But like in this case, if you're trying to figure out like, hey, how can we work methodically towards victories? It is just, once we have a lead, let's not make any mistakes, and let's secure this buff that's never going to go away. Right? It also starts the clock towards Elder. Like, I don't think you necessarily need to have these like amazing fight starting tools or amazing base breaking tools if you're able to get a lead and brute force around objectives.
Right.
Because there's enough with Dragon Soul, with Elder, and with Baron to just kind of win the game that way. And I think because C9 has limited initiation within this team competition, that's the way they should approach winning in this match.
And so far it's been the case. It's definitely been a fairly low action game. There have been moments of attempts like that. And there's the flash Q. There's the attempt. Treese is going to find the knockup. Palafox will be in the air. There's driver to the top. Play and bullet time do a lot, but the snipe still comes through. And Spica's basically invincible, but they find the re-engage. They get that kill. Still a 2-for-1, and the root finds its mark. Lost finds that one, and now it's going to be the opening. It's suddenly 4 alive versus only 2. And Nori could maybe go for the steal, but it's going to be so unlikely as TSM finally get that fight, finally get the kills, and they get a Dragon on the map.
And if Inori goes for that steal, then it's Baron for sure for TSM. Still going to be threatening. That's a moment where TSM can retake control of the game themselves. Able to engage while Fudge wasn't ready. So look at that minimap. Fudge is in bot lane without teleport as far as I can tell here. So a safe engage, and as you mentioned, perfect stone plate power spike for Spica. Just face tanking that Misfortune ultimate and being the crucial CC to set up the 3 kills.
And it makes the game a lot closer now. Only 500 gold difference as they go +3 in the fight. And now as the red buff goes down and can get some more gold, he pushes towards the Infinity Edge. Cloud9 got to make sure they reconsider and figure out what's going on here. Now the flash retreats is going to be on cooldown for quite a while. It'll be up about the time that Drake respawns. Until then, though, there's one less kill to be afraid of. But Lost about to have his combo back, and it might just be that there's just enough engage tools that TSM can set the pace now in the mid to late game.
Yeah, Spica's got flash when his ultimate's back up. You can kind of just try and go again every time you see Fudge in a side lane. Like, I think, yes, C9 can still win if they have a powerful Aatrox in a fight, but that last fight was really so disastrous. They needed to be able to stack up towards that Dragon Soul and kind of use that gold advantage to swing around the map. It's going to be a lot more difficult now.
It's going to be, but it's the attempt at split pushing. It's Fudge pushing down the bottom lane. The Gangplank picks it up just a little bit late. It's a chip damage onto the turret and maybe 1 or 2 minions lost. TSM able to walk right back in, and Nori, a little bit of danger here. Does know where they are, but spotted by the sweeper. Still, yep, there's the stun, and he's going to finally walk away. Over the wall, they're going to find that sleep. This could be a potential pick. Nautilus stunned by some time, though, as Fudge has to back off. Crease gets to walk away.
Definitely the fight over mid priority. We saw what happened when Fudge wasn't with his team. It was a snap engage by the rest of TSM, and they were unable to retreat. So everyone kind of just pulled towards this mid lane right now, but that is advantage TSM because they have better initiation tools if they find the right one.
Again, minions being cleared back and forth. Nori's going to loop around, look for a flank play. Or is it just helping to make sure that Fudge can shove the bottom lane? It's back to the split push here for the Cloud9 side. They weave through with 4 in the mid lane. No one on TSM pushing in top. It's actually on their side of the map right now.
Yeah.
But it's TSM playing for the top river instead.
Yeah, so Fudge is getting pressure bottom lane, which creates this dark zone of fear around the Baron where they have to check safely. I think they did get a blue trinket in the back of the pit. Now they fight.
Looks gonna land the flare over the top. Here comes the re-engage. The TP is in, and Nori goes down. He can't find that kill. Diamond's gonna drop as well. Straight back for support. Redemption buys some time, but Fudge is forced to run. And TSM again win that fight. The Varus snipe is not gonna find any damage, but it's a 2-for-1 team fight to TSM Academy. As they push in towards the mid lane. A few minions are left. They can threaten that dive. That's done. Walked away from King. Poke's not gonna land there. That turret's gonna fall.
Yep, reactive TP instead of a proactive TP from Fudge right there. So by the time he arrived, the fight was lost, and just so dangerous against a Blade of the Rune King Rageblade Varus to have Baron and Fog and be unable to contest. That's what kind of moves C9 towards this. Yes, they land the Drowsy and everyone thinks go, 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 but they need to be able to realize that they don't have 5 people.
Yeah.
And
I mean, C9 picked that fight, right? They landed the Drowsy and said, okay, like Inori's over the wall, and the TP starts after Inori's engaged.
Yeah, that is definitely one of those moments where you think you found the thing that allows you to kind of sneak one, but the mindset needs to be defensive in the moment.
Yeah, it's like, take that poke, you're 4v5. Don't, unless they really thought the Dope had walked away, but I think they saw him on, you know, right there with the squad already, so definitely a mistake there on the Cloud9 side. They give some gold out, 900 for the kill and assist on 2. You get one back. It's not the worst thing in the world, but still rough stuff as they clear down the mid lane and lick their wounds somewhat. C9 still up a Drake buff and, you know, equal enough in gold. It's not really time to sing their doom or anything, but not quite their place either as the mid lane goes down and the Drake spawns in 30 seconds.
Super close game we have here, and definitely thinking we're going to see more battles for this next Drake. C9 still only 2 Drakes away from that soul. Did just clear a little bit of Baron vision. And since they have been pressuring this bot lane wave, it does give them decent flank setup towards this Cloud Drake. Would have loved to get a little bit more poke on him.
That's the good thing about Jarvan. You can pretty much always tank that bubble and EQ to build enough distance to get out of the tries, but there's another sleep. And again, the buffered anchor gets that to safety, but it's Cloud9 who has built some space. TSM held it to contest, but the spacing is so far away that even with vision, they can't go for the play. Spike comes in, and Cloud9 now on Soul Point. LTCDR now for both squads.
Gold is so close, though, so let's see how TSM trades this pressure, because this is exactly the situation we were in last time, where TSM pushed up the mid lane. Then, if you look at the minimap, they ducked into this spot, and Fudge is down here, this time without teleport. So C9, they have to find a way to check this. They just dumped a blue trinket that got disabled right away. And
TSM knows.
they know they're there, but like, what are they really going to do about it?
TSM knows there's also no teleport. They know it's a 5v4. They commit to the play, and Nori has to make the hero steal happen. Control wards over the wall, gives some vision, and it's TSM flinch. It allows Fudge to recall and walk back to the squad, and nothing is earned. It's 2 waves crashing to the bottom lane, chipping down the turret, and Cloud9 rewarded for the split push.
Yeah, they were able to put a couple control wards there and dissuade TSM from going for the 50-50. At a certain point, when a team's got you on Soul Point and you're able to have more burst than the opponent on that, that's a 50-50 that I think you should go for.
And I think it's better than 50-50. I think Nautilus should have been up. Syndra is there. Now, maybe they couldn't have tracked the Rek'Sai, but maybe you find the bait, right?
Yeah.
You know they can see you. You put it at 1200. Is that enough? Is he over the wall yet? Okay, no. I don't know. Maybe you go for that play. Palafox gets the lantern out, but yeah, I mean, you know it's 5v4. You know you have the numbers advantage.
We're running it back. There's been only 1 reset for C9. Diamond has 2 control wards, and there's a blue trinket on Palafox. That's 3 ways they can get vision. Diamond can keep dumping in wards for about a second of vision every time he dumps it in.
Rek'Sai can see what's going on as well. 5,000 health yet again. This is going to be the attempt. Looks like for real this time. And Nori, when does he tunnel over? Barrels over the top. Here comes the attempt! And it's still smited away. Spica grabs it, but it's a kill for a kill. It's a 4v4 now on the map. Baron of the TSM runs away. Drowsy on Dokla, able to walk back though with the oranges. That's not going to put him to sleep. Got caffeine in those, and now the recalls come through. Redemption does not stop the recalls. It's Evolved, left to the Wolves.
Get the minions!
Sucks for a cat, but it's going to be the case here. He's going to knock down the minions, earn some money.
Can he get any more?
No way.
Get more.
Absolutely no way he lives, but does he kill King? Does he get the ulti? No, he cannot. He was asleep at the wheel. Didn't have the ulti anyway. And that is at least a kill for Cloud9, but the Baron survives on 3.
Man, what a series of events. That's definitely one of those spots where TSM pull off the Baron and say, wait a minute, we shouldn't have pulled off the Baron. So then they run back and say, we're definitely not pulling off the Baron this time. But there was just so much more time for the rest of C9 to arrive. Like, at this point, Treats is dead by the time the Baron steal potential happens. Fudge is there as well. He managed to run all the way up from bottom lane, but they did win the Smite War, so credit to Spica, and enough people have Baron, they can make a push.
And Nori instant smite what's got over the wall, couldn't see the health bar, and now Dokla's in a pretty bad spot, knocked into the air, slammed back down. The shutdown comes in, Cloud9 got a bit more gold and knock yet another Baron buff off. So now, only 2 surviving buffs on the TSM side. You can see the gold very close here. Baron buff is on for a while, but keep in mind Cloud9 on Cloud Soul Point.
Definitely accelerated this game as C9 is working around the TSM death timers, and TSM is just trying to get as much value as possible out of those remaining Baron buffs that they have. All the while, that Cloud Drake is probably the most important for him.
Yeah, it's going to do a lot for him. I mean, movement speed definitely a really big deal for the squad that is a little bit blink light.
Yeah.
Knocks down him anyways.
Cloud's always just a really tricky one to evaluate the power of, because, like, personally, I'd rather have a Ocean Soul just because I like being full health all the time. But the 10% move speed all the time is actually sneaky powerful.
Oh, it's so good.
Dodging skill shots, whenever you see someone, you'll always win that race. But if I
Play backwards, Diamond's got a flash away, still gets dunked in, they're looking for damage on the Thresh, they don't kill him, they finally get him down, 1-for-0 so far, and Nori's in a bad spot, but bullet time over the top does so much to turn it around. It's a 1-for-1, and Nori gets out, and another kill comes through now to the bottom lane, as Lost gets a second smite, or a snipe, I should say, and TSM take the fight 2-1.
Yeah, 2 fights happened there. It was Lost down at the bottom killing people, and the rest of C9 trying to kill the rest of TSM, where they eventually, did kill the Stoneplate Nautilus, but Lost Varus, when he can stand and fire, is immensely powerful.
So much attack speed, gets Phantom Mix, a third item. He is really hitting rapidly here, as with how long the death timers are, it's going to be TSM grabbing a Drake for themselves, once again delaying Dragon Soul here on Cloud9's side, but
okay.
that ward I think was in vision of something, because you can see how TSM is running over to him,
Okay.
They know this is happening, so Fudge is cutting around. He's probably safe. No, he shouldn't run into Spica. He should be getting away from them. Could get found by a second Cinder Stone. Actually burns the ulti for move speed, but it does buy time. Buying time is what matters. They need Palafox back with the squad. It's actually C9 shoving in mid first as well.
Yeah, but TSM is just going to try and brute force a fight here. They're just going to go straight on to this Drake, knowing Palafox is still running from base, and the Aatrox ult is down, so they think they can get this and then still be able to win a fight.
All right, well, they're not going to find the smite in any way. It's picked up by the Gangplank of all things. The turret falls in the mid lane. With the Drake for some gold. Now Dokla forced the flash, does get away, but he's sleeping. Poke not landing here, and this could be very deadly for King. Over the wall, Fudge doesn't land the first Q, but there's Rek'Sai, spots the target, gets 1 kill picked up, a 1-for-0. Now Treats is pulled back in. Stoneplate will not save him from the 1v4. The dunk, Spica does to buy some time, but Fudge, flash knock-up, cannot quite get it, but he's healing, but he finally does go down. Still, the fight goes the way of Cloud9. 3-for-1 despite the Drake falling. And they're ready to kill another turret as well. Mid lane fell to the minion wave. Bot lane was worked on by Fudge so many times in the course of this game. Look at that one as well, and it's still this 4 versus 2. They can push for the inhibitor itself. The respawn timer is over 20 seconds long.
They might
the
go
inhibitor itself will fall. Can they get the Nexus? There's only 6 minions.
Watch the wave clear from Evolve. That's what pushes them back, because it was just 3 spells. Woo! There was a lot of action to unpack there. Fudge, I think Fudge could have lived at the end of that fight, but the Death Dance ended up giving him the kill. Can't necessarily fault TSM for going for that Drake to prevent the soul, but they had to make those decisions so quickly.
Re-engage was really, really nice.
Yeah, so they did decide to just run instead of return fire, and the GP ultimate ends up being fairly easy to avoid rather than some turn. So, like, once a team is in full retreat mode, C9 can just kind of go. So watch Fudge towards the end of this fight. He's going for all of it. Like, he can just Q3 onto Lost and be fine. But he thought Lost was already dead, decided to go forward to Spica. That gave Lost more time to auto-attack him, which eventually killed Fudge. So, tried to hit the home run, which probably would have been game over. Ends up meaning they don't even get a Nexus turret, which, I mean, maybe it would have been game over if they had a 5-man turret.
That could have been the case right there. One more engage, so maybe finds a dive, and suddenly, yeah, there's no defense anymore, because if you threaten Evolve, he can't wave clear that. You just run forward with an Aatrox. Level 17 on that top laner. 4, 1, and 6. Definitely going pretty tanky. Steric's gauge nearly done for him. And you can see what's left of this is still a tied gold game. Cloud9 still on soul point. TSM 2 to go. And Spica looking for a flank play. Going around the left-hand side, spotted by a ward, going to kill it himself. So it does get to be sneaky this time around. Not on the opposing roster anyway. Kills that one, and now jumps across into the pit, puts the controller down, and yeah, really goes for vision. In fact, in vision, go for the Baron. Looking to take another fight yet again as bot is pushing in. Bot lane is going to push towards the next, but look how low this is getting. Nuddles over the top, looking for the smite, and it's again grabbed by TSM. Lost claims it, and no one is dead, but the re-engage could be good. Spica's got to find a way to run away. Looking for poke, not going to land for Palafox. Still trying to chase down that jungler. Fudge, though, goes way too hard and drops for it. TSM get the kill, and they get the Baron. And can they get more? It's King chasing in for some damage, does knock down Treats. Lost can't go for the recall. Finally, Inori gets that kill as well. It's a 3-for-1 fight. In fact, it is Cloud9 getting more out of this one.
Baron is gone, and now it's about whether or not they can clear minions as fast as possible to prevent the game from ending once again. Fudge, yes, he did die, but it bought time for C9 to chase everyone down. Let's see what C9 can get.
Into the tunnel over the wall. If someone defends this wave, Dokla knows better than to not sit on the left-hand side. Good wave there, gets most of the minions, but it's enough to push this one down. That turret should pretty much always fall if they concentrate fire, and indeed it drops. Still 15 seconds in the first respawn means you can keep the 4v2. You can definitely get the second inhibitor cleanly. You can knock down the minions. You can take the reset. It's a slower recall. They don't have Baron, but it is enough to get control over both side lanes now.
Yeah, TSM, in essence, keep trading Barons and Drakes for their structures because these are such reckless starts, kind of need to be because of the state of the game, that they end up losing the fight afterwards. That bullet time, like Evolve is completely out of the fight. It's almost impossible for them to turn properly. Fudge does his best to juke around, but King not quite there to follow up as Lost kills him. And then, yeah, TSM is just bailing on this one since their Syndra had recalled. If they take that all-in fight and lose it, the game would be over, so they end up kind of taking another small loss. No time for more analysis, though, because we've got this Cloud Drake coming up in 30 seconds, Freak.
Well, gold, again, basically tied. TSM still wear the 2 Baron buffs on their 2 solo laners, so they are up in stats, I would argue, overall. But this is soul point in 15 seconds for Cloud9. Otherwise, TSM ties that score at 3-3.
But because of the 2 waves of super minions pushing in top and bot, TSM's actually just gonna have to start this and fight. They don't have time to dilly down.
Fudge spotted on the side. Knows that he's over on Lost's side here as the damage starts. He stacks up the Rage Blade. Lost has huge damage. Now, when does the engage come in? They gotta finish this quickly, and they're gonna do so, but the pull comes in. Treat starts the battle, and they're just gonna completely destroy that poor Zoe. That's a 1-for-0. Evolved is in there as well. King cannot kill him. Spica there in the front line. Fudge trying to help, and they might just knock down the Jarvan. Rek'Sai on the backside gets 1 kill. Another one comes across as well, and the backline just refuses to die. Out goes Dokla after finding a single kill, but again, Cloud9 get more out of that fight. It's a 1-versus-3, and it's time for Fudge to claim yet another kill. Will he do it? Yes, indeed. The ace comes in, and look where the minion wave in. It's already poised for the taking. Cloud9 are going to go up to 4-4, and they will take down TSM.
They secure their 2-0 week. It was a doozy, 40 minutes of back and forth, but there we go.
Absolutely back and forth. They found the fights. One of those games where Inori's killer instinct always wants to find someone to kill, always go for that one. This time around it worked out. He had a lot of backline kills, a lot of shutdowns. Early ganking also very good for him on the Rek'Sai.
Yeah, oh man. I want to see that last fight again because I think Lost flashed way too far forward in that last fight. Like, it actually looked like TSM had a lot of control of it up until that point. But then, because the stakes just kept getting higher and higher, in every single one of these fights. That last one ended up being what ended it.
Well, good job to Cloud9. As you said, a 2-0 week. EG Academy and TSM Academy, the two squads they took down today. High fives come out from the audience, and smiles on the faces. Almost done to the first round robin. 8 games of the 18-game season is done. At the middle mark right now, hoping for that playoff push. Diamond, a journeyman player for the C9 Academy squad. We'll see if they can keep that push on going upwards.
Yeah, and overall, this is a game that's a big learning experience for both of these teams. Obviously, that's kind of every Academy game, but it's not just something that has nothing to build on. Like, it's not like you got completely stomped 20 kills to 3.
Right.
Instead, it was a back and forth game the whole time. So there's a lot of decisions you can kind of dissect in high pressure situations you can get practice with.
Yeah, I gotta say, I think if I look back from the TSM point of view, it's like I would have committed to the first Baron when you know it was 5v4, and that like, because you really take smites afterwards, right? You really take 50-50s afterwards, so take the one where you have the 5v4 team fight where no one dies. I think that game looks very different from that inflection point. I think that looks a lot different there. On the C9 side, obviously, felt like they were late to a lot of the resets. Like, the Drake was dead before they could get there. Thankfully, they could win the team fights, but yeah, definitely an interesting one. After the commercial break, we've got an interview with Cloud9's jungler, so stick around.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I have Cloud9's jungler and Cloud9 Academy's jungler and Nori with me right here. Now, right after that game, you looked like you were still stressed. You said your heart was pumping, so tell me about it.
Yeah, I was pretty stressed because so far we played every Saturday after LCS, and we've lost every time. So I had like the feeling where like we did really good early, but we were just about to throw the game. So I was feeling a little nervous towards the mid game, but we actually got the win, so I'm happy.
What's happening on these Saturdays? Because every single Saturday that I've been here and I've seen you play, like you said, a loss. So is there a mental block or something about Saturdays that just throws you guys off?
I think, well, we don't have one of our players on stage, so it's kind of weird listening to him but not having him there. But, I mean, no excuses. We're just playing bad as a team, so, I mean, we're getting better, so I hope we keep winning.
I mean, Cloud9 Academy is a team that's been known for finding this amazing talent and slowly cultivating it. So what do you think of having that opportunity to be on this team? And do you see the potential of all your teammates and basically the growth as you're going through this first split?
Oh, no, of course. I've always been a huge fan of Cloud9, even before, like, when I was on P1. And even just first introductions, like, to Jack and everyone, they're, like, incredible organizations. So I do feel like they really care about the players, and that's always like a really big thing for me because I feel like I can go out there and give my all and not feel as much pressure.
Well, let's talk about that because it's now been a while since people are probably tuning in and going like, oh yeah, Nori, I remember him playing in the LCS and now being happily surprised to see you also participating in Academy. So what's it like for you to go back to Academy and what are the benefits of playing through the league again?
Yeah, I mean, I've been MIA for quite a while. I had a little fall off, but I'm just happy to be back. Like, I feel like I didn't really finish the way I wanted to in LCS. That's why I grinded really hard to get the opportunity to come back because I feel like there's so much more I can do, especially in LCS. So, like, my goal is still to go LCS, and, like, I'm just going to keep improving the Academy for now.
Awesome. LCS is the goal. Well, Nori, best of luck to you on that path. But that's it for us here. Back to the casters to wrap up the day.
Thank you very much, Avali. As we wrap up the day, as she mentioned, let's see how the teams stack up. Dignitas Academy, of course, still holds that perfect 7-0 record, although based on Jet stats, they'll lose, and C9 will tie them for the strongest combined record in the LCS Academy. But of course, Immortals are strong, holding second. Cloud9 in fourth place as they took down TSM today. 4 teams tied in the middle of the pack. Team Liquid Academy and CLG Academy wrapping up the 9th and 10th place spots for now. We'll see them move on up, I'm sure, as time goes on. Let's take a look at what games we have coming up tomorrow, though, with Dignitas and Golden Guardians teeing up the day, followed by CLG versus Team Liquid. Then we'll see TSM face FLICKR with Immortals and Evil Geniuses wrapping up the LCS portion. And of course, we have another Academy game following the LCS games tomorrow, where FLICKR Academy goes up against 100 Thieves Academy. 100 Thieves in second or third looks pretty good for them overall, so
Yeah.
Should be a pretty hyped one.
Golden Guardians trying to close out a 2-0 week. Team Liquid trying to find a victory. Brox has only been with the team for like 48 hours, but he's already in a spot where it feels like if they don't win, Team Liquid is in for some flames. So high pressure game against CLG for Team Liquid tomorrow.
I enjoy that TL and CLG have the identical records in LCS and Academy. There's a quick stat for you.
There you go.
2-5 and 1-6 overall. But if you need more league action, stay tuned for the LEC rebroadcast going live right after the show. So now for myself, the rest of the casters, the entire live broadcast crew, thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for more of the LCS. Good night.